We're here at Arthur's Quay Park in the heart of Limerick City, and as you can see, the panoramic wheel is up and running, but there are no people getting on. It was here for the St. Patrick's festivities, which of course have been cancelled. Also, so many shops, restaurants and bars across Limerick City have had to close their doors. We spoke to a few business owners around Limerick City about the short-term and the long-term effect that this is going to have on them. We're here at Limerick Chamber and I'm joined by Dee Ryan. Dee, I suppose very scary times for a lot of local and I suppose every business in Limerick City and County. What advice would you have for them?
Well, we issued a statement on behalf of our board and our members on Saturday calling for businesses to observe the recommendations from Taoiseach to work remotely where possible and calling for government to put in place the necessary measures that are needed for employers to be able to move their teams into remote working practices. Now, over the course of the weekend, we've seen an awful lot of that come through. We've been actively on it. And we were delighted this morning to be able to circulate to our members this new, much easier one form that employers have to give to their employees to fill in if they have to make someone lay someone off as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. We also are able to confirm that that form is available for the self-employed to use. So if you're self-employed, you're a photographer, an event manager or anything, and your business is gone as a result of COVID-19, you need to fill in this form as well. And yesterday we negotiated with the manager of the local enterprise, the Department of Social Welfare here in Limerick, that they will accept those forms by email. So people can download that form from our website or from the Department of Social Welfare's website. Fill it in. It's one form. You don't need your employer to fill it in. If you are an employee, you don't need anyone to stamp it. You just need to, the applicant themselves signs it, and you can email it into the Limerick office here at limerick@welfare.ie. Or you can, for employers, people who are in charge of a number of employees who unfortunately they're giving bad news to this week, that they need to temporarily lay them off while we manage this crisis, this healthcare crisis. Those people, we would advise them, please get your staff to fill in the forms with you and then gather up the forms and post them in to the Social Welfare office here in Limerick, Dominic Street in Limerick. And they're doing the best that they can to process those applications as quickly as possible. The government has announced that everyone will get €203 each over the next 6 weeks. And it's really important that you don't present, where possible, you don't present in person to the Social Welfare Office, because obviously they're trying to maintain social distancing and best practice for the health of their employees and the people calling there as well.
Also, I suppose a lot of independently owned small businesses like coffee shops, cafes, smaller bars, they seem to be quite frightened, and we've been already told that they have to lay staff off for the foreseeable. So what can we do maybe to ensure them that, that like we're all still over there for them afterwards, and that I think it's just a lot of frightening around.
Absolutely. There is a lot of, we're hearing a lot of uncertainty from employers over the weekend and today, and you'll even see it yourself if you're out in town, around town. There are people on the street, there are people going into shops. Now, Limerick Chamber's message is follow the Taoiseach's guidance. If you can work remotely, do. And I'd even go so far as to say today, if you have the option of closing up, close up. It's the responsible thing to do. We need to look after our Midwest Regional Hospital. We need to ensure that the pressure is reduced on those healthcare workers who we are all relying on. So I would put that message out there and urge people to take responsibility now for their social interactions and to, where possible, limit them completely.
We're here in Rift and I'm joined by Dalton, and obviously the big conversation is about COVID-19. But let's first talk about Rift. When did you first open here?
We opened in January 8th, 2018.
And I have to say, I think that Rift is definitely responsible for a lot of coffee addictions, but also I think you introduced so many people in Limerick to coffee, because there's a lot of people out there that were predominantly tea drinkers. And I know as well, you've got like so many well-known faces that come in here every day to you, like the same people I see. I come in here all the time and I see all the same people. So I think Rift really has created a real sense of community. So you must be very proud of that fact.
Yeah, I'd like to think it's down to me, but I think it's down to people who just want to enjoy something kind of that tastes good, essentially. But I'd like to think we have built a community here for sure, yeah.
It is absolutely incredible. Now, obviously, the reason we're here to talk to you is about COVID-19. You just told me that today is the day that Rift is going to have to close its doors for the foreseeable. Like, I can't even imagine how you're feeling, but I suppose if you could put it in words, like, what is it like?
It's very uncertain. I guess this will be the first time where we're forced to close due to something other than, business performance. So far we've been going quite strong. building slowly, but now it looks like we're being forced to close, and also for the safety of the public as well and for the staff. But yeah, now it's definitely real. I was on the phone to the banks this morning trying to get an update on what's available to us. Unfortunately, there's not actually that much, and the application process to kind of defer loan payments and all the rest, it says it'll be at least a 3-week application process, and it doesn't really seem like they're trying just yet anyway to help in this regard. There are facilities for overdrafts, more loans, but we took out a substantial loan for the new business that we're trying to open as well. Not great timing. So yeah, it's quite uncertain, and especially for our staff. It looks like that we will have to let 6 people go indefinitely until we actually are a bit clear with how we can open, because we can't afford to continue to pay people, even with the new incentive with the social welfare, where they're asking employers if they can to pay the €203, I think it is, a week for the job seekers until we get back going. But honestly, we can't. We won't be able to do our loan repayments if we can't operate. So this industry is very tight like that. If you close for 2 weeks, it could mean your business, unfortunately.
And I suppose it's a tricky time, and there's so many of you in Limerick City and County and all across the world in this same scenario. And obviously we're sitting here in Larder, which is the new venture. Obviously it's going to take a hold now, but what is your hope for when this all blows over? Yeah,
the hope is just to open again as if nothing had happened. I think the best part about this is that there seems to be more community now, especially with business owners as well. We're all talking to each other. Customers have been messaging me saying, how can we help? Can we set up some type of payment scheme, which is incredible, obviously. So we're going to look towards that, and then if we are closed, we might try to put more efforts into getting this finished, this project, as much as we can. Obviously, builders may stop working, but the idea is that we open, we're ready to go from the get-go, and I think people at that stage will want to be out. So we just need to get to that stage where we can reopen.
I think you just kind of hit the nail on the head there, the sense of community. And I've even noticed over the last few days, everyone is rallying around everyone. Everyone wants to help each other out. And I think, with somewhere like Rift, your customers are here, especially people who are here on a daily basis, like they'll only be looking to get back in the doors again. So I think if there's any positivity to come from this, it probably is, as you said, the people that are reaching out, the people that want to help. But I think the main thing maybe that people can do is buy vouchers. That could probably help in some way.
Yeah, for sure. We might try look into setting up a prepay scheme where either you can buy vouchers or you can pay for coffees like you do every day, especially for regular customers, and then redeem them when we're back open. It just means that there's cash flow just kind of going, and we're not looking for anything other than what you pay for already, and you just claim it on the other side. We'll try work on some schemes like that, or maybe we'll open for an hour or two for people to collect retail coffee in the next few weeks, and we'll stagger times. We'll try and make it as efficient as possible and safe as possible if we can.
I think as well it's safe to say you're going to be very busy on social media when you are closed, because I know that there will be the regulars and everyone that comes to Rift to have some of your amazing coffee. Dalton, all we can say is we wish you the best of luck, and we cannot wait to have those doors back open again.
That's great. Thanks, Meghann. Thank you.
We're here in Mike O'Connell Menswear, and I'm joined by Donal. Obviously very difficult time, and how are you guys feeling at the moment?
It's very hard business wise. The footfall is down. There isn't too many customers coming in. Everyone's a little bit nervous about what's going on.
And I suppose the big thing is a lot of weddings have been postponed and are all being pushed back to much later in the year. So I guess for you, having suit hire, that is probably having a massive effect as well.
It is. It's having a huge effect, especially on cash flow for weddings that were going on next week, 2 weeks time, 3 weeks time. They're all after being postponed and put out maybe until October, November, and that's having a huge effect. That while there's a small deposit paid, there isn't any huge money passing hands.
And now I know the government haven't said to close all the doors yet. Have you decided yet when you're going to close your doors?
We haven't decided yet. We're trying to wait and see how things go with the government, what announcements they make. We just have all the facilities in place with hand sanitizer and all the usual things that everyone's doing.
I know everyone, I suppose, is taking precautions. But what advice would you have for the local people that, in a couple of weeks' time, we will be able to open all our doors again?
Just to come out and support local businesses in general when they can and when it's safe. Just to come out and really support local business rather than the multiples. I think small small to medium-sized businesses will need the support in the coming year.
I think that is the main message. Get out and support all the local Limerick companies and businesses out there. Donal, thank you so much for chatting to us, and we look forward to seeing the doors open again.
Thanks a million, Meghann.